Welcome to the show. I'm your host, Connor Knowles, and this is the Nerdic Gods podcast, episode 225. Joining me, as always, Daniel Neveroli.
What's up, gamers? What's going on?
Hi, Daniel.
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm okay. Not bad. A little tired. Slept in. I'm okay.
What's on your shirt?
It's an old shirt I've had. It's Einstein. I've had the shirt since like 2007.
Why does he look like he's on crack?
Well, he has his normal like pipe, and then it's like making a galaxy.
It's kind of
It's also
badass. Okay.
not great lighting.
Okay.
It's a cool shirt.
Yeah,
And I've had it for a
yeah.
long time, and it's still in like pretty good condition.
I was gonna make fun of it, but I got nothing to say. It's
It's
a cool
cool.
shirt.
Yeah,
Cool shirt.
his
Yeah.
like tobacco pipe is making a galaxy. It's cool.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Let's go, Einstein.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Make it
badass.
another a bomb. I mean, or don't do that.
Wow. He didn't. I don't know. He seemed
I
upset
haven't seen
about
that
it at
movie.
the end of Oppenheimer. You haven't seen Oppenheimer?
No, I would like to watch it though.
It's good. It's not I don't think it's like Nolan's best.
No, it gave him Best Picture, right?
Yeah.
For his
Yeah.
first Best
Yeah,
Picture.
it did finally get him that for sure, but I wouldn't even consider it like probably not even in like my top 5 Nolan films if I'm being honest.
So it's more of kind of in that mid range of his movies.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say so. It's good, but it's just like okay, it ends and it's just like okay.
It's Nolan. I'd like to watch it.
Yeah,
You know.
it was more of a cool theater experience, I'd say, than it was just like a
Oh,
good
sure.
movie, if I'm being honest.
That makes sense. I mean, Nolan likes he likes the theater experience.
Oh, he
so.
does for sure. It depends which movie though, you know. Like, there's a couple of them where I'm like, okay, it's not necessary for a theater, but then like Dunkirk, for example, that was
Yeah.
a necessary theater movie.
I didn't see that. I haven't seen his in theaters in a while. Like, I think I'm only behind, I guess, 2 movies of his. I haven't seen Tenet, and then I haven't seen Oppenheimer.
I fell asleep during Tenet, so I've never seen it either.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Tenet's weird. Tenet's a weird
Yeah,
fucking
that's
movie.
pretty much. It seems really weird.
Yeah, the parts I have seen very fucking weird.
Mm. Yeah, it messes with time. It's like backwards. I don't know. There's some weird stuff. You remember in Tenet, he he bought a plane to blow up because he said it would be cheaper to do that than to get the CG done for it.
Fucking wild.
Isn't that insane?
Wild.
That's insane.
You're
Yeah, I'm gonna go blow up
how
a plane.
bad CG has gotten nowadays.
Yeah, that
It's
tells
very
you how.
odd, you know, because it's like I think someone was comparing it to the second Pirates of the Caribbean movie with Davy Jones
Mm-hmm.
or whatever one, and
Still
like
looks great.
yeah, and like that still looks better than shit today, which is just crazy because it's like you would
I
have
think
that
it's-
would have just progressed more and more.
I think it's a mix of a lot of things. Like a lot of the turnaround for visual effects is so quick now too.
Yeah.
Like I think that's a lot to do with it. Like they have to put out these
Overworked,
big
underpaid
movies.
artist.
Yeah,
Yeah.
overwork, underpaid, and they got to do it really quickly.
And such a heavy
And-
reliance on CG nowadays.
Yeah, and a heavy reliance.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I think there's a lot of
too
issues
far
with
spread
it.
with that shit.
But then you get some like things that have like CG, and it's like, well, we did get Endgame, and it's
Oh,
like
for sure.
like one of the greatest looking things.
Yeah,
Even
I mean, look how
Infinity
good
War,
Thanos looks, right? Like
yeah,
Thanos
like
looks
Thanos
fucking
is
incredible
still
still.
the best fully CG character ever made.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's
And
crazy.
even MCU itself, then you look at like how bad recent things have looked in MCU.
That's the production.
Yeah,
like it's
that's what
too
I was,
quick.
especially when they
Yeah.
added the TV shows like She-Hulk. I liked She-Hulk the show, but she did look awful.
I think sometimes, and then sometimes it looked good.
Depending on the episode, sure.
Yeah, it was a little mixed bag, but the shows have been mixed bags with CG.
Yeah, definitely. Daniel, a little weird timing here because I feel like the video game announcement season's just about to kick off. The Sony State of Play is
Yeah, these
going
next
on
few
in
weeks.
just a matter of hours here, and then I believe we're getting something else today. Silent Hill thing.
It's the
today.
Silent Hill thing, which is
There was another thing too, actually. Mercy on the
Today?
late. Yeah,
Okay.
some indie thing. Isn't the Marvelous thing? I don't know what the fuck that even is, but
What is that?
I don't know. I saw it on the fucking Nobles guy's list, but yeah, I don't
okay.
know. There's another random showcase today as well, so kind of kicking off all today, but
I'm revealing games this week
here we
too.
are. You want to announce anything
I'm
right
doing
here?
a showcase.
You want to
But I'll
hold
do
your
it at the
cards
end of the
close to
stream.
your chest, though?
Yeah, yeah.
I can't reveal all my secrets. It's like,
Mm,
all right,
can't.
guys, can't do it. God forbid. God forbid. Yep, movies over here, and they revealed the whole slate through 2040, and
Give you 10 years. Here's what we're
half
doing
of
for
them
10
will
years.
never come out, but it doesn't matter. Like we're making them anyway. Here's the casting. Here's the director. You'll find out in 2 years we canceled it.
Wild. It's crazy.
It is wild. It is wild. All right, Daniel. Well, it's been another busy week in the world of video games.
Hmm.
Kicking us off, then let's get right into some of these leaks, just to ruin the big showcases and whatnot for everyone.
Yeah.
It's always unfortunate when these happen. I mean, there are two big ones in here. I'd say probably PlayStation's biggest announcement, we'll talk about later, is already leaked. I mean, it's been leaked for weeks, so it's like, okay.
I saw that there were leaks and didn't look into the PlayStation one too much.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, just the Astrobot thing that's just been we're gonna talk about later. I mean, that's just been rumored for weeks now. But it's like, okay, that's probably their biggest game they're gonna have there, if it is real, if it is there, right?
Yeah.
And then, yeah, and then the next couple we're gonna talk about. It's like, okay. Well, anyways, let's just get into it. Insider Gaming is reporting that the next Doom game will be called Doom: The Dark Ages and is set to be revealed at the Xbox Game Showcase. Daniel, it's been a little while since id Software put out the Doom game, all the way back in 2020, beginning of 2020. When we first started this show, right? When was that? Like March 2020, same day as
Yeah, it was the
Animal
same day
Crossing.
as Animal Crossing. Yep.
Yeah, hell of a day, hell of a day. So
Yeah.
yeah, we are definitely due. I think they should be getting close to ready, right? With
When's the showcase?
the Xbox Game Showcase is next Sunday, so I don't know,
Okay.
not this Sunday, but the next one. Let me look at the exact
Okay, so
date.
that's
That would
like the
be
7th or so?
June 9th.
June 9th. Okay.
Or maybe I'm wrong, and it's no, yeah, June 9th. June 9th.
Okay. Not too far. Yeah, it's right after Summer Games Fest, which is I think next Friday,
Next
right?
Friday. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, so we're kicking off, I guess, summer-ish, which we're almost in summer. I think officially summer's like mid-June or something, but we're basically there. Uh, I guess PlayStation's kind of kicking it off, but yeah, the what was the original title for this Doom game?
It was.
There was like a leaked title, right?
Yeah, it was in the FTC
Something
leak.
Zero,
Doom Year Zero.
Year Zero,
Yeah.
which this I guess kind of goes along the same lines because the rumor it's
Yeah.
supposed to be medieval times or something like a medieval setting or
Medieval themed.
medieval themed.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Year Zero I guess would make sense, but I guess they were like that's a little generic, which is funny because the Dark Ages feels a little generic too. But I
I
don't
do
know.
like it more, but yeah, I know what
I
you
like it
mean.
more.
I know
Yeah,
what you mean.
yeah.
Year Zero, wasn't there that shitty Jack Black movie with Michael Cera where they were like cavemen?
I think that was Year One.
Year One. No, it's
I think it was Year One,
a
but yeah.
prequel to that, actually.
It's a prequel. Doom guy goes and he gives birth to all of them.
Doom Guy, Jack Black, and Michael Cera. What could go wrong?
Mm, can't go wrong. Yeah, I just want a new Doom game. Want to see what id's been doing. Loved the Doom 2016 and 2020. So they do it. They seem to be doing it every 4 years. This would have been another one, but I guess it's taken a little longer. Maybe COVID, I guess, could have delayed some of that stuff. I guess we'll probably get it for next year. I would assume. I doubt it's coming this year. They're not going to put it out in the fall with the other 3 games they have in the fall.
Although that'd be sick.
That's too much.
I wouldn't be opposed.
Yeah, maybe March next year. Have it kind of in that first half of next year.
Yeah, I didn't even think about like early next year. You know, I guess my mind kind of just immediately went to like fall 2025. You know, type of thing.
Yeah, but Eternal came out in March, so
Yeah, no,
I think
you're entirely right.
2016
Actually,
came out in April. I think so. I think it was right. I think it was also first half.
I don't remember.
Yeah, because like when I first moved into my apartment in 2016, I think that was like right around that time. It was like Dark Souls 3 came out, Doom came out,
Yeah,
like the
I
first.
don't think that was like a day one pickup for me at the time.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I saw it and I was like, I gotta play this game.
yeah.
So yeah, I'm excited for whatever it's gonna do. Yeah, hopefully it looks great. I want to see just demons getting ripped apart. That's all I want.
Yeah,
I
me
don't need
too,
anything
man.
fancy.
I absolutely love the reboot Doom games that we've been getting these last few years. They've just been fucking awesome. Like, they really have. Just the fun first-person shooters that are really just about gameplay, and it's just so it's fucking cool to see that, man, because we don't get a lot of those nowadays. So I'm
Yeah,
very
fast
happy EA
paced.
is just good at doing that, and they just stick to their guns and they just do that. And it's like, okay, awesome. That's like all I want from you, you know.
Hmm.
So yeah, I'm very excited to see this continue. The whole medieval setting sounds fucking cool. Like that sounds
Yeah.
awesome. I think I saw something with one of the guys that work at id talking about how Doom Eternal was like their Evil Dead 2. So it makes sense that this next one is like a medieval setting because
What? It's just so weird.
Evil Dead
I
does
didn't
that.
think
Yeah,
about that.
yeah. So it's cool. I think there'll probably be some like time travel shit going on, you know? I don't know. Doom guy gets sent
Hmm.
into the past or whatever. I see a lot of people like getting scared, like, oh, what if it's just all melee? It's like they're not gonna do
Yeah.
that.
No, you can't get rid of that super shotgun. Come on.
Yeah, no, that'd be fucking stupid. But yeah, so I think it'll be like Doom guy gets like set in the past or whatever the fuck. I don't know,
Yeah.
whatever
I
wacky
mean,
stories they come up with the Doom games, you know. It's always just fun and lighthearted type of not lighthearted, but you know, it's
there's a
actually
sense of
not
humor.
lighthearted.
There's a
Yeah, there's
sense of
like a
humor to
very
the Doom
dark
game.
sense of humor in the
Yeah.
Doom games that I really appreciate and love. And yeah, you know, it's one of those series too where you gotta for you gotta like look deep to find a story and stuff like that and read a lot of things, or you just don't care
I
and you're
think
just
those
shooting shit,
DLCs have
right?
more story.
Yeah. Those the
Um,
ancient god ones.
the Ancient Gods, yeah.
That which bringing that up, that's probably why it's taken them that extra years because they put out those two
Doing that DLC.
DLCs. Yeah, that's probably
That's
why it took them
that's a good point.
took them a full 5 year cycle to put out one of these games. But yeah, man, I think it's just awesome. I mean, what a great studio for Xbox to have too. Just their technical know how over at id
Hmm.
2 is just like second to none. You know, they're just really good at first person shooting, and but yeah, they're able to contribute to. I know they've been helping out other Bethesda studios just for the longest time now. You know, the Wolfenstein team they helped out, the Fallout guys they helped out with Fallout 4 and stuff like that. So, yeah, it's just such a good team for them to have. And yeah, Xbox, if this does come out next year, I mean, dude, they're gonna have a huge year.
Hmm.
You know, it's like we already,
I
you know,
think next year's gonna be huge already.
yeah, for sure. But like, I mean, dude, they are lining up to have. Imagine next year is Fable, Gears, Doom, and I'm sure I'm missing a ton of stuff, but just those three right there are just huge franchises, right?
Hmm. Um, I think two things like I would hope, and this is maybe just me personally to like take lessons from Doom 2016 and Eternal is take from Doom 2016. Doom 2016 had better boss fights. Um, and then in Doom Eternal, the biggest critique I had of that game is how much platforming was in it. There's just too much platforming for me. Like I would
I remember
say
this.
lower the amount of platforming in that game. Like I'm
I
cool with
enjoyed the
some, but
platforming, from what I
it was just too
remember.
much.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was just a lot of platforming. I wanted less of that and more just the gameplay. But you can have some platforming.
wasn't there was a grappling hook, but you had to add the shotgun equipped, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
give me that grappling hook, but just with everything. That's
Yeah, but I use the shotgun
that's what I would
almost
want.
exclusively. So
Sure.
that's
It
all I
didn't
was
matter
using.
at the end of the day
Super
there.
shotgun only. Yep.
Yeah. I hear you. Yeah. I don't really know what else I would want. I just want them to continue making these, you know. So yeah,
Yeah.
all sounds great to me. Yeah, unfortunate that's got leaked out of the time. It's probably been a big pop, right? And unfortunate that Gears is also leaked, right? So it's like, all right, there's probably what the two biggest surprises would have been right away are already leaked. I'm sure they'll have more sprinkled in there, but probably like the two big ones, right? And it doesn't get much bigger in Gears and Doom. It's unfortunate that they're already
At
leaked,
least we
but
haven't
that is
seen
just
anything about him.
yeah,
You
that's
could at
true.
least
There's no like
like have a
video or
blowout.
trailer or
Yeah,
whatever. Yeah,
have like a big blowout of like gameplay or something that we haven't seen. Like that could even be another step. It's like, yeah, we might have known of the game exists, but if they show like awesome gameplay of both those games, and
yeah.
then they're coming out next year or something, they have like a date, and it's like, okay, Xbox, like you're kind of maybe starting to like win people over again. It's gonna
Yeah,
take a lot.
Yeah, now that they have all these things set up for next year, most likely, at least that's what we're assuming. I really need them to, or not need, but want them to separate these games, right? Because it seems like we're getting a big cluster of Xbox games right at the end of this year. It's like, okay, let's try to
They keep
spread them
doing
out
that.
next year. I know they keep doing it, and it's like it's just year after year, you know. And they've
Spread them
talked.
out more.
How many times have we heard them talk about we want the quarterly releases, the big quarterly releases? It's like, okay, do that. You guys got to hold the game. or two. You
Yeah.
know, if they're ready to go.
Nintendo it.
Yeah, Nintendo it. Literally, Nintendo just held that Paper Mario game that just came out this week. They held that Paper Mario game for a fucking year. So it's like, all right, Nintendo over there just making moves
Yeah,
and
we'll put
trying
out the
to.
game when we want to.
Yeah, yeah, whatever. No, it's done. We're done with it. But we'll put it out
Put it
later.
on the shelf. We'll get back to
Yeah.
it.
What if they just forget about shit? Like, oh, we made that. Fuck.
Wait a second. We
Wait a
have
second.
You remember when it was Pikmin 4? Remember Miyamoto came out and was like, "Yeah, it's done." And that was like years later. They came out and put it out. Like, what are you
Just
doing?
fucking crazy. So yeah, I would hope they figure out a good rhythm to put out these games at and not just have a big rush at the end of the year again. You know, it's like I don't want Doom and Gear 6 in fall 2025, you know? Like
Of course. Like
yeah.
Gears loves to be in the fall.
Yeah.
And then
I'm assuming Gears is fall, like October next year or whatever, you know. It's I think that's a given, but like don't put Doom on top of that.
no.
Is all I would say.
Yeah.
And Fable. I don't know when. I would hope Fable's first, right? Just because that one's just been announced the longest. I mean, that's the only one that's actually announced that we're actually talking about here. So I would hope that one's first. But I don't know. A lot of rumors.
Yeah.
Perfect Dark's coming out next year too.
We also have to look at they have Call of Duty every year now. It's like they
Yeah.
don't want to be putting something on top of that too as well.
I mean, they are this year, right? So it's like clearly they're not like super worried about that. But it's like,
I guess
especially
if it's
next
different
year.
enough.
And next year,
Yeah.
I mean, Gears can stand on its own, but still, you don't want to put if GTA September, Call of Duty's October, you don't really. I mean, Gears.
You got to go before that.
Yeah, it's like I don't know if you want to go before or way after. You know, like do you want to do like late
But what would be
November
way after?
or whatever?
It'd be the next year.
Yeah, I
At that
guess.
point.
Yeah. Way after would be next year. Yeah, but like just a little bit. Maybe you want to go like November with Gears or something like that. I don't know. It's that's a tough thing to juggle for them.
Yeah, I don't know. I would say put it out before. Go September, or no, I guess September. If we're thinking September's GTA, go August, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't even do that. We're gonna be saving up their money for GTA, you know.
You got to put it out, right?
Yeah, you do. That'd be rough. That'd be rough. You got to be very particular, especially next year. So, yeah, we will see. We will see. I mean, they should have a huge slate. So, yeah, very excited for this game showcase, though. Still.
Yeah, I guess given everything that we've been through in the past month or so.
Yeah. All right, cool. We'll continue with some Xbox news then. Xbox has confirmed that Call of Duty Black Ops 6 will indeed launch day one on Game Pass. They also confirmed that a last gen edition of the game will launch day one as well. Daniel, here it is. I know we talked about this last week. Actually, a pretty good amount. So everyone already heard that. But yeah, here it is. Black Ops 6 come to Game Pass day one. They pulled the trigger. They're doing it.
Yeah, I think we assumed that they were going to. Yeah, I think that's what we kind of said. They kind of have to, you know, like this was kind of the experiment and seeing, like, why not just put the biggest game on there and see what that does?
Yeah.
So you would think it would definitely get more subscribers, but like, is it going to be a significant amount? I don't know at this point. But
Yeah, I gotta imagine the Microsoft execs are gonna be looking very closely at how
yeah,
this does exactly. You know, it's I don't know, man. I'm super curious. Like, what I really would like to know, and we'll never know, is what is the number it needs to hit for them to be satisfied. You know, in terms of Game Pass
it's never going to
subscribers
be
after
enough.
that. Right? Is it? Will it ever be enough? You know, if it did like fucking 25 million Game Pass subscribers, would you guys still be like,
Added, yeah.
didn't meet our expectations though? You know,
Didn't
like,
get 30 though, did you?
right. So Phil just fucking kicks the trash can. Like, God damn it, can't win. But yeah, so yeah, here it is. I'm very happy it's gonna be on there. For me personally, I mean, I know this is just like perfect for me. It's
Yeah, you gonna actually play one?
yeah, 100%. You know, it's well, I say that, but then like a million other games come out right around that I want to play, right? And then I just forget
I
about
mean,
it.
it's a weekend game.
But I will download it and play Prop Hunt. I will do that.
Prop Hunt's there. You will be
That's
there.
100%. I will be there for that.
Okay, that's
But
fair. at
But yeah,
least.
for someone like me that doesn't necessarily want to buy a Call of Duty every single year and hasn't in years, you know, I keep telling myself like, yeah, I like Call of Duty. I'll play the campaigns now and then. I haven't since the World War II one. So I'm just like one of those guys where like, yeah, I'll play it if it was like available to me. So it is just kind of perfect for someone like me. And like we were talking about last week, I just wonder how perfect it is for other people and other scenarios, and especially the mainstay Call of Duty guys that are playing it all year. Do they rush the Game Pass and subscribe? We're gonna find out. So
Mhm. Yeah. Not much to say. We had a big talk about it last week, so
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
I think it's good that it's coming to the service. I already kind of own all the Call of Duties, so it's not like that crucial. Like I probably would have bought it anyways. Um, yeah, maybe I think this is gonna be a really big game this year. Like having Black Ops back, like a big franchise, especially six. Like I don't remember how well Cold War did, so I would assume that this would move some numbers. Like I hope I really hope that they don't up the price this year. I think that would be maybe a win and then immediate loss, right? Like they can't have another loss again like that. So
I think
I
they
don't know.
could go to 20.
Yeah,
They're
two
at
more
18
dollars.
right now.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I don't think 20 nice even number there, I know 18's even too,
sure.
but whatever. It's
I know what you mean.
yeah,
Nice
20 is
rounded
just a
number.
nice number. It's like, "Oh,
Yeah.
okay, it's 20." It's like when you tell me something's $18, I pretty much just think it's 20 already
Already it's
anyways,
20. Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So, yeah,
I think that way too.
I think they could go to that, but I don't think they could go any higher this year without it being a huge thing on the internet, huge hullabaloo and whatnot. I do think eventually we'll get up there to like 25 and whatnot. Well, I think they'll just copy the Netflix model though eventually and just do minor increases over time, right? Like, oh, hey, it's another dollar
Probably.
this month, and then fucking 6 months later, here's another dollar. So I think they'll probably just take that tactic. That seems to be the tactic that all these streaming services tend to take. So I don't know. I don't know if the video game streaming service wants to really follow that model, but if I had to guess, that's probably what they'll end up doing.
Yeah, like even thinking about the number, it's like, okay, even if it's 20, like how many people really are gonna be like, yeah, I'll pay the 20 for I don't know. Are they gonna do it all year, right? They're gonna get like
Right.
a yearly Game Pass subscription?
Yeah.
Or like are they gonna say like, hey, I'll just get 70 or what or pay for 70 and like that's like the game I want to play. So
Yeah.
like that's really the question, especially for these Call of Duty people, right? Like
Yeah.
this is like a lot of the Call of Duty audience, like they play Call of Duty or maybe some sports games too, but like that's kind of what they play. Not always because you get like somebody like me that wants the campaign and stuff, but
Yeah.
plays other things.
It's just that
Um,
question of do they care about the other games? Like
yeah,
will like, hey, Indiana Jones is also coming out in 2 months and I can just play that on here too. It's like, oh, okay, can I, and maybe there's probably some other shit on Game Pass. Does that shit entice them enough to keep it there? Or does I
that's
mean,
the question.
or
Yeah.
does just paying $20 right now and you could play Call of Duty, does that entice them enough? Because I feel like a lot of people see that and they're just like, oh fuck yeah, let's go. $20, like I have $20. I don't want to pay 70 right now. Like, let's just do that.
hmm I wonder if they also do the thing that Xbox has been doing with like the week ahead of time. You pay like whatever, $20 or whatever, and you get it ahead of time. I wonder if Activision is going to try to do that too.
Oh, you mean like the early access thing?
Yeah, the early
Oh,
access,
with the
like,
special editions and whatnot.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't know because if you remember Starfield last year, you had to pay another 30 on top of that, on top of your Game Pass to get the early access version
yeah.
through Game Pass. Uh,
That's what I do. That same thing again.
oh, do that again with Call of
That's what
Duty.
I'm saying. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I think they probably would. I think Xbox would be smart to do that with all their games. Honestly.
I think especially Call of Duty.
Yeah,
These people are going to eat that up. Like, I can
yeah,
start
100%.
prestiging before everyone. Are you kidding me right now?
Yeah.
I'm going to go
I
do
think
that.
Call of Duty
And-
fans
Or
already eat
play the
that up.
campaign,
Like, I mean, that's already been a thing for years.
the
Where
beta,
not
like
in Game Pass, right? But like, you could play Call of Duty, whatever, 4 days a week early or whatever the fuck, for buying the Ultimate Special Edition.
I didn't know they did that.
Yeah,
Hmm, okay,
it's like
interesting.
everything now. So,
Yeah, so I guess they probably will do that then.
yeah, yeah, I'd imagine they will. Call of Duty also coming to last gen still. How you feeling about that?
Mm, I don't know. I feel like it's a lost cause now.
Yeah.
Like, I just feel like last gen is just something that's gonna still be targeted for a long time.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm right there with you. I mean, PlayStation just did a conference sometime
Yeah,
last night.
PS4 ain't going nowhere, and
Yeah,
it's
there's
11 years
there's
old.
still 50 million people playing PS4, at least through their PS Plus. So at least through the online service, there's probably more than that even, right? But like
Oh yeah.
through the online service, there's still 50 million people over on PS4. So you see why, right? It's just every generation, the last gen has stuck around longer and longer, and
Yeah.
that's just gonna continue. When we get a PS6, PS5, and Series X are gonna stick around longer than even PS4 and Xbox One are sticking around, and that's just the way it's going to continue to go.
Yeah, yeah. People just get stuck with their console and like they kind of stick with whatever games come out to it, and like Call of Duty, I guess they want to get as many players as they can. I don't think they want to like forfeit the PS4 and Xbox One audience right now.
100%. And I mean, especially the times we live in right now, right? The economy's so bad. People are so struggling for
Yeah.
money so much that getting something extra like a new console, you're asking a lot.
Yeah, and like as much of an update as like this current gen is, like, are we really getting games doing that much more right now? You know what I mean? Like, is there any game you can name that's like, man, I couldn't really see the PS4 do that. You know what I mean?
Even if there is, it's like it's not that noticeable. You know,
Yeah, maybe
it's
frame rates,
yeah,
like that kind of thing, and like
yeah. It's like
getting to
that stuff
4K.
is awesome for people like me and you, like the hardcore that actually
Yeah,
notice and care about that type of shit. But like, dude, if I was just playing Call of Duty and I wouldn't give a fuck about any of that type of shit.
yeah.
You know?
The only thing they would care about is if it runs well,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Which is
As
like,
long as I can connect online, it's like I don't even
yeah,
frame rate. It's like I don't. If you don't have a PS5 and Xbox One, you're not even noticing the frame rate, and
I
even
think Call
half
of Duty
those
has
people don't
always
even
run at
care,
60.
right?
But that's
Yeah,
the thing
good
about Call
point.
of Duty. I think they've always run at 60, which is like they care about how it runs, which is funny because like that's how everyone should be. But um, yeah, yeah,
I mean, we
I don't
we
know.
are so long far past the days of the next console generation being like, holy shit, look at
Yeah,
this. The last time we got that was 360 PS3 gen. And
HD.
and even that really, when you think about it, isn't that like incredible. That was
Yeah,
still a downgrade from PS1 to PS2 gen, right?
hmm
Which was the downgrade from SNES to fucking PS1 and all that, right? So
yeah.
it's just it's just it gets less and less noticeable
I
each
do think the
generation.
HD jump was pretty big, but like, yeah, I agree. Like going to PS1 and 64, it's like, whoa.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
that's we're going into 3D, we're getting polygons, like
Hmm.
that was huge. And then then crisping that up a little bit more with the PS2, Xbox One,
Yeah,
GameCube,
we will
like
never experience something like that again.
yeah,
Not
for
even
sure.
close. So it's just it is what it is. I totally understand why people would stay on last gen for the time being. Eventually they're gonna have to move, but for
Yeah.
now, it's I totally get it.
And people stuck with the 360 forever, you know?
Yeah, yeah. Okay, cool. Let's move on to some PlayStation then. First up, then multiple industry insiders are reporting that a new Astrobot game is on the way and it'll probably be revealed at today's State of Play. Daniel, I'll just tie the State of Play thing in here. There's State of Play happening in like 3 hours.
What?
What? Whole thing apparently leaked already, so we can just talk about that. Should we just act like it happened and be like, "Holy shit"?
Yeah, what's the point? They don't even need to like
They
release it.
didn't
Like,
even need to do it.
what's really the
Yeah,
point?
we literally
Like,
just read titles.
yeah,
It's like I
put
don't
out the
even need
press
it.
release. It's over. I don't need to see this thing anymore.
But Daniel, if the rumors are true and that list is accurate, the Astrobot game would be the biggest thing there.
Okay.
And we've been getting rumors about this Astrobot game
So
for a few weeks now. I'd say.
you don't have to say all the games that are on the leak if you don't want to.
Yeah.
Does this seem to be a good state of play? Because I'm already getting in my head how short it is and like how many games they've announced. I'm like, this doesn't really feel like a
No,
big showcase in any way.
no, it's not a
Okay.
big showcase. If it was, see, I think this is why it's very smart of PlayStation to call this a state of play. They should have called last year's a state of play as well.
Yeah.
The showcase comes with expectations, I think, much more expectations than state of play just do. And I know we all want the big blowout PlayStation. Here's all our first party studios.
They're
Here's
just
what they're
not
all
there
working
yet.
on.
They're still
Yeah,
somehow
they're just
not there
still,
yet.
yeah, I don't get it either. I thought last year was the year. Shit.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I know.
doesn't seem like we're getting it this year either, unless there's a big showcase planned for later this year, which I guess isn't impossible.
It could. Didn't they do a September one or
They've
something
done
like
a
that?
September one multiple times, so
Yeah.
yeah, if you
Maybe
remember
that's where they
the
do it.
PS5 launch year, there's
Yeah, that's
September
right.
one, and then the year after that, or it might have been 2 years after that, whatever year had the Wolverine and Spider-Man and Knights of the Old Republic remake one, that was a showcase, and that was in September, I remember.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I don't know if that was 22 or 21, but that was in September as well. So I guess it's entirely possible there's still a showcase in September-ish. Where we could possibly get a big blowout of PlayStation's first party, but yeah, this state of play ain't it.
It's not it.
It ain't it. It ain't it.
I'm excited for an Astrobot game.
No,
Is the
that's
rumor say it's a VR game
we don't
or
know.
is it
We do
okay?
not
Because
know.
if it's a
We do
VR
not
game, I
know.
don't care.
Yeah, no one does.
Like I don't care.
The
But I
the
think
12 people that bought a VR2 do.
I think if they would need to be smart about it, they need to make a game, a platformer, a Astrobot platformer that is VR compatible.
Mm.
They need to. It needs to be like you need to do both.
I mean
Like having it just
that should have been
VR.
the idea with all these VR games,
Yeah,
honestly. And they did that with Gran Turismo pretty successfully,
that's
right? I
true.
know people
Yeah.
are very happy with Gran Turismo and its VR support. And people
Or the
seem to
Resident Evils, but that's not them.
yeah, that's not them. It's third party stuff. I mean, third parties are very smart to team up with too, as well with VR. It's I mean, dude, VR is just dead in the water for PSVR 2. No one cares. I mean, that's
Yeah, I
just
saw rumors of them maybe
it's just
potentially.
like a niche PC market now. It really is just
I was
VR.
hearing that they may have PSVR be compatible with PC.
Yeah, apparently
There
an
was like
adapter
rumors.
leaked online, so
Interesting.
you would have to buy
Okay,
an adapter on top of it,
that's
which that sounds a little sketchy as
I
well.
yeah, I
Yeah,
don't like
yeah.
that.
I wonder how much it would cost. Would be the thing.
With PlayStation,
Yeah,
probably
knowing
pretty pricey.
PlayStation, like 250 for the adapter.
Yeah, you got to give me your arm.
You actually got to buy a PS5, a PSVR2, and the adapter, and then
Yeah,
connect the PS5 to your
connect.
console, connect it to the adapter, and then connect it.
Oh my god, I could see that. That's awful.
That'd be
I
great.
hate the idea of that.
All that being said, though, you give me a new Astrobot game that's just a PS5 console game,
Yeah,
I'll be happy, bro. Like
yeah,
I will
that's
be
what I want.
absolutely stoked for that. That's what I want as well. I don't really care what it is. That just sounds fucking awesome to me. 'Cause
Astro's Playroom 2.
yeah, I don't even know if you want to call it that. I would just go Astrobot personally and just stick with that.
No subtitle.
Nah, no subtitle.
What was
Subtitles
the first? What was the VR game? What was that called?
rescue mission.
Rescue Mission.
Yeah.
Okay.
So and that's supposed to be very good as well. Look, I think the Astrobot team is pretty good. Like
Yeah.
that was a very well done 3D platformer, and we don't
Hmm.
get a lot of those. We get very few and far between in 3D platformers. So I am just stoked to see a big publisher developing a new AAA 3D game, 3D platformer.
Of course. Yeah. That's exactly what I want. It has a good charm to it. It was a little short, but like I don't think it needs to be that much longer than that game. You know what I mean? Like maybe
Oh
put a few
yeah,
more worlds to it, and then that would have been it, right?
give me solid 8 hour thing.
Yeah.
I'm good. I mean, what was Astrobot was like 2 hours, but it was fucking free. So
Yeah.
but yeah, you give me like a solid 8 hour thing. I know kind of funny was theorizing if it would be like PlayStation themed still. That would be fucking awesome. But
I could see it just let
I
it be
don't
its
know if
own
they'll
thing
do
too.
that. Yeah, you could do that as well, but it's like the PlayStation theme of Astrobot was such a good charm to it,
It was cool.
it'd be
Yeah.
cool if you can carry that over in some way, like they were theorizing like what if it had like PlayStation like here's our Horizon level, here's an Uncharted type theme level, something like that. It's like, oh, that'd be fucking sick.
That could be cool. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be very cool. But if it's not that even, I don't even care. I just I'm just very happy to see a new 3D platformer
I
come
guess my
come
only
to
like
rise.
pushback to like it being like full PlayStation themed, that kind of like lowers the IP of Astrobot itself. Like I kind of would like Astrobot as like an IP to kind of stand on its own and not be like, oh, we just like to have everything here. We're a PlayStation IP. We're not
Mm.
like, you know what I mean? Like I'd like to Astrobot to have his own identity and like have his own world and stuff like that. So to be tied so heavily to just the history of the console and the hardware and
I think it'd
other
just be a cool way to
games.
get away from the generic levels you always see in these games, right? Like, oh,
Yeah.
here's the lava world, here's the ice world. It's I think that's just a cool, fun way. I mean, they don't have to, of course, but it would be a cool, fun way. And I doubt they will, honestly. I think there'd probably be too much to go into that. Like, I don't know. You'd have to like get some cool like third party ones in there too. Like I would want like a Resident Evil
Sure.
world or some shit. That'd be fun.
Whoa.
Yeah, like anything like that would be
Fighting
cool. Like a Final
fighting
Fantasy
zombies.
one, like
Hmm.
any IP that is heavily tied to PlayStation like that. I would kind of like want to see that as well. But whatever, I don't know. That's just an idea. Kind of funny was thrown out there. So,
Hmm.
but nonetheless, new Astrobot 3D platformer. Give me it this year. I'll be happy.
Yeah, they got to have something right for this year.
Yeah.
I mean, they
I
had.
mean, I guess they don't,
I guess,
but
or they don't.
yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know. It's no, they don't, but I would like it. I would like it very much if they
Yeah,
did.
PlayStation's it's such a what a weird company in a weird way.
I mean, this year in
Like,
particular,
are they
they
gonna
just
go 2
rely
years without having anything? Or
so
no, I guess last
heavily.
year. You're
I
gonna have
mean, the
a
Spider-Man in
whole year?
October, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I don't until Dawn remake. There you go.
Played that game in whatever 2014.
10 years later, here you go.
Great. Like I'm gonna play it again. I don't want to play the game again.
Yeah, I don't know.
I
I
own
mean,
it.
they're relying very heavily on second party this year. Granted, it's paying off, but I would like to see something from these big first parties. It's just game
I don't know. Apparently,
development these
Rebirth isn't
days.
paying off. I don't
Well,
know.
Rebirth isn't. Helldivers 2, Stellar Blade. I mean,
Helldivers 2, yeah.
yeah, it's
Stellar Blade.
I mean, we're gonna talk about Stellar Blade and Circana numbers. It seems to be doing well. And Rebirth is paying off. It's the fourth highest selling game of the year. Like I don't.
Yeah.
What did we all want? Don't put it exclusive
I
on
was
PS5
just.
then, it's
I'm
there's your
just being
answer, Square.
I'm just being square.
Oh, it didn't meet your expectations.
Didn't meet my expectations.
Okay,
Sorry.
I understand.
Sorry. You didn't get what we wanted.
Oh, Concord's coming out this year.
Is that
First
part
party
of the
side.
leak?
Well, they said in their investor call that Concord is coming out this year. And
Okay.
it is part of the leak in the state of play as well that Concord is there. So
Okay.
presumably that's coming out this year as well. So
a game that no one's gonna play. Cool.
I thought the same about
I'm just
Helldivers, if
kidding.
I'm being honest.
Yeah. Helldivers, that's at least fun and interesting. We don't know anything about Concord. They better show off.
There's a
really
burger.
nicely then. A game where we're all just eating burgers. Like, what's the live service at? Toppings for the burger?
Toppings, yeah. What you mean?
It starts with just
you want a
meat.
tomato?
Not even a bun. You gotta buy the bun.
50 cents, that tomato. I'll play this. All right,
Crazy.
cool. Next up, then PS2 games are finally starting to be added to the PS Plus classics, starting with Tomb Raider Legend, Star Wars: The Clone Wars, and Sly Cooper: The Thievius Raccoonus. I'll be added there. Daniel, PS2 games finally coming. I completely forgot PS2 games weren't there, to be honest. But now they're here. We'll be able to download these, and yeah,
That's the most important thing.
definitely, I agree.
Yeah.
So I was reading on Push Square. Apparently, there's a whole new like PS2 emulator that they got going in the background of PS5s now.
Okay.
And
Where's the PS3?
Good luck.
That's the more
Good luck.
important.
But yeah, so it'll be like up-res, frame rate would be better, all that type of shit will be there. You'll be able to like pause. There'll be like an overlay menu or something like that now. Trophy
Okay.
support, stuff like that. So I think it's cool.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. Love that. There's a whole lot of games PS2. Yeah, the Sly games. They got a lot of stuff there, right? So now they got to start working PS3. I don't know why they went PS2 first, but hey, whatever. Like,
Yeah, I would.
working on how to figure out PS3.
I don't know if they'll ever figure out PS3. I wouldn't hold your breath on them ever figuring that out. If I'm being honest. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. They've been doing PS1 and PSP games for the last couple of years now, ever since this new tier system started with that system. So there's a good amount of PSP games on there, which I think is really cool. And the PS1 games, obviously, they got rid of they got out some of the bigger ones like Legend of Dragoon and stuff like that, but I still think they're missing quite a few. And so now we're getting started on PS2 here, which just leads to a whole slew of things. I mean, there's so many PS2 games. There was a fuck ton of games coming out back then that are just kind of forgotten about nowadays, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like obviously the big ones carried over like GTA and stuff like that, but there's so many long and forgotten PS2 games now that yeah, I think it's cool. Start porting as many over as you can. I hate the slow like trickle out that PlayStation does with these, but
Nintendo does the same thing.
Whatever. Yeah, they do the same
with their
thing.
online service.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
But if it can continue to be months like this, where it's actually like interesting games and like pretty good games, like I don't know if that Tomb Raider game was any good, but like I know that Clone Wars game, I've never played it, but it's made by that Battlefront guys, so I would like to check it out.
Oh
see
yeah,
what that's actually like.
Pandemic.
Yeah, and then Sly Cooper. I've always wanted to play Sly Cooper, and
the Sly series is something I've always wanted to play. I love the style of those games.
Yeah.
And I like play the whole series. So it's only the first one right now, right?
It's only the first one right now. Yeah.
Okay.
So hopefully they get the second. It'd be cool if they just did month after month. Is the rest? I guess there's only a trilogy of Sly games, right? Is there a fourth Sly game?
There is a fourth Sly game. Yeah.
There's a fourth. Is that a PS3 game though?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you never get that one.
But there was the collection on PS3. That's
yeah.
what they like. They could just do that, but whatever. They're not doing stupid PS3 stuff.
Yeah. Unfortunate. But yeah. So there you go. I'll be checking out Sly Cooper at some point.
So is this the second tier, right?
Yeah, this is
For
extra.
PlayStation Plus.
Yeah, extra
The
and up.
yeah, the extra
You
tier.
can buy these games though.
Oh, true. Okay.
Cool. All right. I love that name, Sly Cooper, the Thievius Raccoonus.
It's a bit odd. I'll
Great
say
name,
that.
Thievius Raccoonus. Next up, then. Known leaker Dust Golem is claiming to have some info on what's going on with the future of Resident Evil. Firstly, he says that Resident Evil 9 has been internally delayed to late 2025, early 2026, and that remakes of Resident Evil 0 and Code Veronica are currently in development, but no word on how far along either project is. Daniel, a little bit of Resident Evil shit going on here.
Yeah.
I wouldn't hold your breath for a Resident Evil 9 announcement if this is accurate, but you never know.
Yeah. So I guess with that, we're looking at probably a Resident Evil. So what I was seeing was the Resident Evil Veronica Code Veronica is being made by the Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil 4 team. Resident Evil 0 is being remade by the Resident Evil 3 remake team. Uh, and then I guess whatever other team is doing Resident Evil 9. So I guess the release calendar schedule would be probably Resident Evil Code Veronica next year, Resident Evil 9 2026 early, and then maybe Resident Evil 0 in 2027. Is that like, does that sound about right? Or
Yeah,
are we pushing everything back further? Is it 9 Veronica 0?
yeah. Who knows? Who knows?
Like, is there
It's
anything Resident Evil
possible to
next
say
year?
because we don't know how far along the development Zero and Code Veronica are, right?
Yeah.
And I guess in my mind, if you were gonna do Zero and Code Veronica, that would have been like a double pack.
Mhm.
I guess Capcom probably won't do that because they could
They're
probably
big
just
enough
make
games
money
to
out
be on their
selling
own.
that. Yeah, so they probably won't end up doing that. So you're probably right, and they would be separate, and they would be a year apart at least. But yeah, I just don't know. I don't know if those are just getting started with development, and then
Yeah.
Resident Evil 9 will still be first, and we're just going a pretty long gap without Resident Evil here, which I actually think the series could use a little bit.
Capcom also doesn't necessarily need it because they got a big game next year. They got the Monster Hunter. What is it called?
Wild.
Wilds. They got
Yeah.
Monster Hunter Wilds next year. Like that game's gonna be massive.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like they don't need to put out a Resident Evil next year.
No, they certainly don't, right? Especially next fall. You don't want to come out right around GTA either. So you might as well just
Yeah.
wait till spring 2026 or whatever, March 2026, that early year period where
Man, we
they
keep
love
naming
going.
2025 games. Oh my god.
I'm telling you, man. It's gonna be a year. So yeah, it's yeah, I think early 2026 Resident Evil 9, and you just do a long gap without Resident Evil games until then. That sounds fine to me.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
like that
Like
they're holding off on 5 remake. I think we
we
wait to
thought that
that.
was next, but that it make because how spoilers, I guess, how four Resident Evil 4 ends. It's like I guess it kind of they kind of hint at 5, right? But like they can kind of go back and
Yeah.
like tell Zero's story and
Oh, I
Code
much prefer
Veronica's
it, man.
story
I would prefer we wait till PS6 next Xbox gen to get to
for
Resident Evil
5.
5
Sure.
remake. Yeah.
With this release schedule,
Yeah.
it sounds like it will be.
Yeah. I hope so. I think that's a good idea because that puts us even further away from that generation of games. Because
Mhm.
once you start with 5, now we're into the 360 era with that, and it's just like that just feels we feel too close to that for it to get a remake. Granted, there's been a million 360 PS3 games already remade this gen, so it doesn't really matter.
We should remake Last of Us again.
Again, part 1, part 2.
Oh wait,
Uh,
we're getting Horizon.
we are getting Horizon in Lego form. So yeah, it's yeah, Resident Evil. Sounds great.
Mhm. Yeah,
Go
love
Capcom.
the remakes. Keep going.
Last news story then. The video game Circana numbers for the month of April
Oh,
2024 are
snap.
in.
Give them to me. We got to go to Connor's Circana corner.
There you go. Hit the song there.
Do 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 do. That's it. Just a little jingle. Yeah.
We will now go through the 1 through 20 for the month of April. Starting with number 20, Marvel Spider-Man 2. Number 19, Elden Ring. Number 18, Mario Kart 8. Number 17, Tekken 8. That came out this year, right?
Yeah, it was the beginning of the year.
Yeah. I
January.
wonder where that's at for the yearly. I'll pull up the yearly after this.
It's probably not as high as it should be, but yeah.
Okay, where were we then? Number 16, Rainbow Six Siege.
Let's go. It's probably a big sale, right?
No, it was number 16 the month before as well. So I don't know. Just
Man,
that
Siege kind of came
steady
back.
theme for Ubisoft. Number 15, Princess Peach Showtime. Dropped down from 6 the month before. Pretty good. I think
Yeah,
Nintendo's quarterly. It sold a little over 1 million, so good for them.
that's a good game.
Number 14, Madden NFL 24. Number 13, Minecraft. There was just some Minecraft news today. There's a Minecraft animated series in the works over at Netflix.
Oh yeah,
This is
I didn't
interesting.
I didn't put
It's
that in
interesting they
doc.
got that on top of the live action movie, which is just a weird thing.
Yeah, I think live action is going to be in quotes with the movie. Like it's going to be heavily CG'd.
Jack Black gets pulled into the Minecraft world.
Oh no.
Oh no. Here's what things get interesting in. Number 12, up from number 167 the month before, Grounded. From
There you go.
yeah, there you go.
That's the PlayStation boost, right?
That's that PlayStation boot, which we'll talk about again later. So there you go. Seems like Grounded kicked off pretty well.
Mhm.
Number 11, Rise of the Ronin. Number
Not too
10.
bad for that game.
No, yeah, not too bad. I wonder how that sold exactly. It was number 5 the month before that. Which when did it
Okay,
come
so
out?
it's dropping a
March.
bit.
But yeah, it
Yeah,
was
like end of March, I think.
yeah, probably not great, but I wonder if that developer's happy with it. Number 10, EA Sports FC 24. Number 9, Hogwarts Legacy. Number 8,
Wow.
this is also interesting. Up from number 159 last month, Fallout 76.
Got
Very
in the top
interesting.
10.
Yeah, man.
Whoa.
That TV show
That
boost.
TV show bump.
Yeah, man.
Whoa.
We're gonna talk about that later too. So hang on. Number 7, Dragon's Dogma 2, which Capcom just announced that game sold 3 million copies. Good for them. Dragon's Dogma 2,
Yeah,
man,
good for
killing it
them.
out there.
Very niche game to be selling so well.
Yeah, yeah. It seems like Capcom's got another stable there on their hands. It's very
Yeah, I
cool.
wonder if they're
I wasn't
gonna like
necessarily
greenlight.
expecting that.
Yeah, the weird thing about that game is they greenlit that as a sequel because that's the DMC guy.
Yeah,
That's the Devil May Cry guy. So like, I wonder if he's going to Devil May Cry 6 or are they gonna try to get him to do another Dragon's Dogma?
it's a good pillar for them to have because they were kind of not in the whole RPG space at all. Capcom.
Yeah, that's true. Because like when they did the first one, that was supposed to be their like answer to Skyrim, right? At the time.
Probably, yeah, something like that. I thought you froze.
No,
I clicked
I was.
back. I was like, did I just lose him?
You did not lose me. I was waiting for
uh,
you.
all right. Number 6, MLB The Show 24. Number 5, Fallout 4, all the way up from 87 the month
Wow,
before.
two
Two
Fallout
Fallout
games in the
games,
top
man.
10.
TV show killed it, man.
That's crazy,
The power of synergy right there.
man.
Yeah, that's awesome to see though. Happy to see Fallout doing so well
Yeah.
out there. It's please hurry up and make another
Where's Fallout
Fallout game.
5? Or
2035.
even a side game, you know?
Anything. Anything. Please, Phil. Hot, I need you. Okay, number 4 then. Sea of Thieves. Up from number 55 the month before.
Wow.
Yeah. Also, Sea of Thieves was
PlayStation
the
boost.
number 2 highest selling game just on PlayStation. So
Hmm.
crazy. Sea of Thieves.
Yeah, I remember
getting out
Satya Nadella came out and was like, "Yeah, we have like more uh published games on PlayStation than they do on their own platform or something like that."
They definitely
Like
do.
higher
Oh, dude,
selling.
I'm sure they do.
It's
I'm
crazy.
telling you, in like 2 to 3 years, they're gonna be best fucking friends. Um, Number 3, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. Number 2,
Wow, that game.
it just keeps going, man.
That's
Call of Duty
that's
shit.
we talk about like a very whatever Call of Duty and it's still selling.
Right. Number 2, Helldivers 2.
Nice.
And then your number 1 for the month of April, Stellar Blade. Booty cheeks. Let's go.
Wow. Booty cheek game.
Booty cheek game. Big booty girls.
Hmm.
Get with it.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
wonder how much I wonder how much it sold in this first month and like is it gonna keep going? I don't know.
It was a very low month. I know Matt Piscatello was talking about that.
He just said sales were low
Yeah.
in April.
Yeah. So
Interesting.
it was one of the lower Aprils in like the last decade. So
Whoa.
not necessarily great, but
Economy sucks.
yeah, people ain't buying
People
games.
are not buying games right now. They're playing Fortnite.
God damn. You could have been playing Big Booty Cheeks, girl.
You could have been playing a real game.
Yeah, good for Stellar Blade. I know the
Mhm.
developer came out and said they're very happy with the sales, so that's awesome to see. I gotta imagine a sequel's being greenlit.
You would assume so, or some sort, or just their next game. Like it does, they do end it at where no, not like huge spoilers. They end it where they could do a sequel, but they ended it like enough to where I think that they could just leave it, and I'd be cool with them like doing a new game personally. Maybe do a new action game, new IP. I don't know. It's kind of up to them. I know they just did a new IP, and like you kind of maybe want to stick with the IP like that and call it Stellar Blade 2. But I'm just curious what Shift Up's next game's going to be.
Yeah, yeah, I'm right there with you. I think just head right into a sequel with this, build upon what you had there. There was a
Maybe turn
few
around
little
a little
kinks
quicker.
you could iron out there just in the series
Yeah,
overall. So especially with like the open world elements that game had, there's a lot you could do there differently.
checkpoints,
Yeah,
better checkpoints.
yeah. Let me try to find his for the year calendar.
Yeah, I wonder. Do we think Stellar Blade is going to hit the? It's going to be tough to hit that top 10. Like Ubisoft's going
It's
to have
not
two in
gonna
the
hit
top 10.
top 10.
PlayStation's going to have Hellblade. That's two right there. Madden, FIFA. That's how many is that? That's five right there in the top 10. Call of Duty. That's six in the top 10.
No,
Um,
Stellar Blade will definitely not hit the top 10.
yeah,
Yeah, it won't even last in this top 20 because what is it right now? So it is number 16 for the year overall. Not a chance.
interesting. Wow. Yeah,
So yeah,
guess it must have been a really light month.
for the year thus far, let me see if there's anything interesting. So like Mario Wonders at 20. Sea of Thieves is all the way up at 18 already.
Hmm.
See Rise of Ronin we talked about was at 14 for the year. Persona 3 Reload actually at 10 for the year. That's pretty good.
That's not bad.
Um, Tekken 8's at 6 for the year.
Okay, that's pretty good for a fighting game.
Yeah, yeah. You still got Kill the Justice League's at 8 for the year. Where did Skull and Bones end up? Skull and Bones dropped down to 15 for the year.
That might do top 20 numbers if they do like a DLC or something. But
I doubt it.
you think it'd fall off?
Yeah, I think it falls off entirely because there's so many all those games you just named, plus like the Ubisoft, Assassin's Creed, Outlaws, all that
Yeah,
shit. That's gonna. There's more than 10 games coming out that are gonna surpass that. So I think pretty much anything in the top 10 right now, or in the bottom 10, the 20 through 10, is I
yeah. We
think
have
is
Call of Duty,
gonna
the
get kicked
sports
off
games.
unless you're like one of those mainstays. Like I think Hogwarts could probably stay in there, just because
Yeah,
that's such a big game, and then maybe Suicide
Elden
Squad.
Ring.
Yeah, and then I'd guess like Tekken probably ends up at like 20 for the year, around there if I had to bet.
I wonder if indie makes top 20.
Yeah, it's hard to guess with that Game Pass.
Yeah,
It's hard to say. I wonder where Final Fantasy stays. It's at 5 for the year right now, so we'll see.
I gotta believe that's not gonna stay in the top 10.
Yeah, not top 10. Yeah, I just wonder if it's. I would imagine since Tekken's at 6, Final Fantasy's at 5, I'd imagine those are like your 1920 spot, very low on that.
Maybe 15
If
to
they
20.
can, if they can stay there, I don't know. We'll see how the year plays out. Dragon's Dogma will probably stay in the top, at least top 20, but maybe top 10. Nah,
I'd hope.
I probably won't
Yeah,
stay
I'd
in the
hope
top 10
top
actually.
20. No, I named like six of the top 10. I think
Yeah,
Call of Duty, Madden, FIFA,
NBA,
Hellblade, NBA,
Helldivers, not Hellblade.
or Helldivers. Sorry, Helldivers. So what is that? There's what, three sports games: Call of Duty, Helldivers. That's six, right?
Assassin's Creed, Star Wars.
Assassin's Creed, Star Wars.
Yeah,
That's eight. That's eight games right there.
FIFA or FC, whatever the
That's
fuck we're
part of the
doing now.
three:
Oh, did you say that?
Madden, FIFA, and NBA.
I wonder if with 2K taking over the FIFA license now, if they put out a game this year, and I wonder how well that would do.
That might be too quick. That
Yeah,
might be next year.
yeah. You don't think they'll be ready yet? Yeah, I just wonder,
No.
will we now have 2 football games in the top
Is
20
that
type
is
thing?
that was that a rumor or was that official?
I believe that's official now.
Okay.
But
I didn't click in to read that. So I didn't know if that was actually official. Which makes it interesting. Remember FIFA was like, we will find a partner.
yeah, and I mean that's a great partner to have.
Yeah, basically EA's biggest rival in terms of sports games.
2K has secured the official license for FIFA to create the next
All
FIFA
right.
video game, so it is
Sweet.
official.
Yeah, I wonder how they're gonna name that because they're gonna have
FIFA
to name it
2K25 is set to launch next year. So next year
See, yeah,
they will
yeah,
do
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay, 2K, that makes sense. They got to keep a different name. Yeah, I wonder if they're going to try to get back into football as well. Get the
Oh, like
2K
they
football series back.
doesn't it
Yeah.
just not matter if you don't have the NFL license though? Like people
No,
just
they
don't
need to
care.
get the license. Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And can you do that? I don't know if NFL can go somewhere else with the license
It
and have two
depends.
licensed NFL games, can they?
I mean, NFL can do whatever they want with their license, right? It just depends on the contract they
But
sign with
yeah, wouldn't the
EA.
contract say like, hey, you
Yeah.
you can't just go to another publisher and have them also
Yeah.
make a competitor to us?
Take-Two would have to talk to them and see when that contract's up, and then like hey, maybe we can like sneak in there and do
If I was
have
Take Two, I would
competition.
have gone for the college thing. You know, I
They
would
could
have.
do college, yeah.
Well, I mean, now that's Taken Two, right? Because there's a new one coming out under EA.
But I wonder if that's they completely own the license to that. I don't know. You know,
That's got to be in the contract. That's got to be the first thing in the contract. Is we're not letting you go to another publisher and just make a competitor.
I feel like as like the NCAA and the NFL, like wouldn't they want more games with their IP?
You would, but who's gonna sign that deal that lets you go and make other games?
If the NFL went to Madden and was like, "Yeah, we're not going to be an exclusive IP. We're going to go to Take-Two, and they're going to do a football game too." You think EA is not going to make a Madden game anymore because of that?
Yeah, who would sign that
No,
deal?
EA because they would want that cash cow.
Is it that much of a? But
Yeah.
you're
Oh
putting
yeah,
out
it is.
another competitor. You know, it's like, are these both gonna sell, or are people just gonna buy the one that's better?
Well, it would be better for us because they would try to make a better game at that point, right? So like
Yeah, I
that's what
mean
we
it's better for
need.
gamers, but it's like I just don't. I can't possibly imagine a publisher just
Because
agreeing
they
to
don't
that
want
though.
they because even if they got a few million cut off of it, right? It's still the top 10 selling game every year. Like, why would they not make that game? You know what I mean?
I get what you're saying, but that this would have
The
been
NFL holds
this
the
would have been
cards.
a thing for decades then. You know,
Yeah.
like that they would have gone and signed. Why wouldn't every major publisher be making an NFL game then? You know?
Times change. Who knows? You
Yeah.
know, like remember back in the day we got that.
Did we?
Yeah, like the Xbox era
Oh, okay.
with what they take with the
I wasn't
like
playing
they
football
had.
games.
Yeah, they like Take Two had the NFL license as well. Like
Oh,
they
okay.
both did. Um, and Take Two's was actually a cheaper game than the Madden games at the time. So like they were going back and forth. There was a time when it was. It was just I think EA is just so money hungry that they wanted like an exclusive license. It's probably more of them than the NFL. But I think the NFL has the power to say, "Hey, we don't want that." If they didn't, you know.
That'd be interesting because then the Chicago numbers would just be filled with football games.
Yep.
Literally every game. All right, Daniel. That's gonna do it for the news of the week. We will now move on to what we've been playing. Daniel, what have you been playing?
Yes. So there's a game that I didn't get to talk about last week that I beat. Um called if you remember this game, it was at one of the Xbox showcases like a few years ago called Bright Memory Infinite. It was made as this game made by one guy in the Unreal. I think he's using Unreal 5 or is he using Unreal 4 maybe? But it was made by one guy. It was that really fast-paced first-person shooter, and it had like a sword too. I don't know if you remember that game.
I don't remember this. No.
It kind of it's very Doom energy. It's got a lot of like very fast-paced. You always need to be moving. Um, it's kind of got like Doom mixed with kind of like a Titanfall Call of Duty kind of feel. Um, Story's kind of whatever. It's a very short game. It's probably 4 to 5 hours. Um, the world it builds, I think, is pretty cool. I think it's pretty interesting, but the performances are not very good, and that kind of throws the world off a bit because you're not that interested because you're just listening to bad voice acting. Uh, but the gameplay is awesome. It's very fun, super fun. If you're looking for a very quick, pretty cheap game, uh, that's kind of Doom esque or first person shooter Call of Duty esque in a Doom setting, um, I would highly recommend playing this game. It won't take you very long. There's multiple difficulties. Got a skill tree you can upgrade. It's very flashy, visually pretty good for just one guy. Like it doesn't look like a game made by one guy.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's. I wish that this game would do well just to see what
When
this
did it
guy
come
could
out?
do more. A couple of years ago, 2022 maybe,
What was the name again?
2021. Bright Memory Infinite. I think once you see the game, you might recognize it. Yeah, I wish this guy would have like maybe get a few more developers on
Ooh,
his side.
Chinese game.
Yeah, Chinese game.
Came out in 2019.
I think that was like an early
Episode
demo on
1 came
PC.
out in
Yeah,
2019. Okay.
yeah, that was like a him. He was testing it out. So
Oh, it came
he
out on
made the game for a
iOS
few.
first. Interesting.
Oh, did he port it to iOS too? That's interesting.
That was the first thing it came out on, or at least this episode 1.
Interesting. Um, yeah, I would highly recommend it. I think it's super cheap too. Like it might still be on Game Pass. I'm not sure about that, but it was like less than 20. I forget the
Oh,
price.
I do remember this. Where did we see this? Man, that was forever ago.
I think it was if you remember leading up to this gen of consoles, it was like that third party Xbox showcase thing that they
Mm,
did.
okay.
And this was like one of the first games they showed, and it was like, whoa, this looks pretty next
Yeah, it was like a
gen.
beautiful thing. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah. I do remember all this.
it's
Okay.
like this chick with a gun and a sword and stuff.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, I would recommend it if you're looking for a very quick, fun first person shooter to play. It's way more gameplay focused. It's got a grappling hook,
How long
which
was
is
it?
pretty. Uh, I think about 5 hours or so.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't remember my exact time, but it is not very long. And they have multiple difficulty options. Like if you want to try a harder first person shooter, um, you get pretty overpowered with the sword. Like I upgraded the sword a lot, and I was just meleeing everything. It felt pretty good. It felt pretty good. But other than that, I dropped New Super Mario Brothers U Deluxe, the Wii U one. I was like, this is getting a little. It's fun. It's a very traditional baseline Mario game. So I was like, I'd rather just go play 3D World, right? Like that I know is great. So I beat the first world. I'm in the second world in that, but I haven't really played much the past few days of that game. But I'm really enjoying 3D World. 3D World's really fun. That cat suit's so overpowered.
Yeah.
It's so overpowered. I feel so strong when I have that cat suit. Like climbing every wall, the like dive thing you could do is pretty cool. Even like fighting the first boss in the first world, like I end up having a cat suit and then a backup cat suit um, item, and like Bowser's like throwing bombs at you, and you could just like hit him and then hit him back at him with the cat suit, just the attack button. But then like I got hit, and then Mario himself he can't do that. You have to like pick it up and throw it like normal Mario.
Yeah.
Like that sucks. I don't want to be doing that, so I had to use my other cat suit and immediately beat him.
Just give
Like
me the cat suit. Cat
just
suit cheat
yeah,
code here.
yeah. The cat suit was a cheat code. Yeah, I'm gonna play through that and then go into Bowser's Fury after I beat it.
Cool.
That's probably my next big game I'm gonna play now that I beat the
Yeah, it's a
next
good
game I wanna
idea
play.
because like the control scheme kind of has it's still like 3D Mario controls, but it's like a
Yeah,
completely different camera angle, so it
just in that
feels
3D
kind of
land
wonky if
perspective.
you're not like in the 3D land mindset and kind of
Mhm.
have those controls down. So it's a good idea to roll right into that because I played Bowser's Fury. It's like I don't know, did that launch together?
On the Switch version, yeah.
Okay, so I must have played that back to back. I don't know what I'm talking about then. Maybe I took a break or something between that or something, between playing Bowser's
Yeah.
Fury and 3D World. I don't remember exactly, but yeah,
I feel like you played
nonetheless, it's a
you
good
because you were
idea.
so curious about Fury, you played Fury first.
Oh, maybe that was it.
I
That might have
think
been
that's
it.
what happened. And you might have went back to the main game
3D World
after.
then.
So I
Yeah,
remember we were really excited for that, but I was like, it's not its own game, you know. So
yeah,
I was like, eh. But yeah, I'm very excited to get to Bowser's Fury. You know how me and you love our 3D Mario platformers. I just
yeah.
like 2D as
It's
well,
really
but
good. I mean, it's very quick, but it's
yeah,
yeah,
very
it's
short.
only like 90 minutes. But Yeah, it's very
I didn't
good.
think it was that short. That is pretty short.
90 minutes, 2 hours. Yeah, it depends how much time you spend with it. I mean, you could probably get that up to like 3-ish at most, I'd imagine. But
Okay.
yeah, it is that short, but it is very fun.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. I'm excited to play that. But yeah, the main game I think we've both been playing. Not sure if you've beaten it yet. Is Hellblade 2.
I've not beaten it.
You've not beaten it.
No.
Okay. Then I'll let you kick that off then.
Yeah, I have probably put like 2 hours into it, 2-ish,
Okay.
3-ish.
I'm surprised.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I was in a good mindset for it, and then I just kind of like lost it. On like I don't know Saturday, Sunday. I don't know. I had a 3-day
Yeah.
weekend, and I was doing shit on Monday, so then I got back to it. I don't know. I like it like during the weekend when I'm just like nice and calm and like
Yeah,
you know,
just
yeah, and like I can like really get in the zone and stuff. It's just one of those where I'm just like and like plus I know it's shorter, so I just kind of want to when I have the right time and I'm in the right headspace for it, then go for it.
mhm.
But yeah, so I'm like 2 to 3 hours into that. I'm enjoying it thus far. It's really. I mean, obviously, the game's so beautiful, man.
It's I mean, it might
It's
be the best looking game I've ever seen.
it's got to be the best looking game out right
The
now.
only other one is like maybe Forza Horizon 5.
Yeah, something like that. Alan Wake 2's up there.
Alan Wake 2 is going to be up there.
Yeah, even like Callisto Protocol's up there and shit like that.
Sure.
All beautiful games, but I think this game probably takes the edge on
It's
all of those things because it just
yeah.
looks absolutely incredible. And yeah, I'm enjoying it thus far. I don't know a lot of people complaining about the combat. The combat has like this unique intensity to it. I'm finding,
Yeah.
just whatever the camera angle is and the perspective there, it kind of reminds me of The Last of Us from that perspective, where like it's just like very intense when you're in these battles. I know there's completely different games, a completely different gameplay, but like I don't know. There's like a certain unique intensity there that I don't find in a lot of other things, and Hellblade 2 is kind of doing that for me. Apparently, they stripped things back from the last one a little bit, which I guess I just don't remember the last Hellblade's gameplay all that much.
Yeah, this one's more one-on-one focused.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah,
You
I guess my memory's not super well with all that. Granted, that was like what 7 years ago already. So
Yeah, it was a while ago to
yeah,
be
it was a
honest.
very
Yeah.
long time ago. So but yeah, I'm definitely enjoying it thus far.
Yeah, so I did beat it. I didn't beat it. It definitely like I did like chunks of it, even though it's not like a super long game. It is just like a being in the mood game. Like I wanted to get my headphones on. Like
Yeah.
I was just like I played like I think 3 different sittings the game. Um, but yeah, I really like the game a lot. I think if you like the first game, you will like this a lot as well. I think it just expands on it. Um, I still feel like even if it's short, I feel like they don't use the time super well. Like I feel like there was a lot of meandering at points, especially with some like the middle chapters, like chapter like 2 to 3 to 4. I feel like it starts really strong, and then you get to like chapter 2, 3, 4. I think are like you kind of there's some interesting things that they're doing, but some of the puzzles feel like I'm doing this a little too long, or you're just kind of like walking around, which I think is interesting. It's interesting world. The voices are very interesting to hear, but I'm just like, all right, what's kind of the next beat here? I think once you get to like chapter 5 and 6, I think are very strong. I think the game ends really strongly. Um, no spoilers. I don't want to spoil it for you. I do. I wish that I could have. I wish they would have given me like another 30 minutes of the game.
Hmm, interesting.
Like, I don't think it's a bad ending in any way, but like they definitely like I would now more than the end of the first one, I want a sequel, if that makes sense.
Sets up for
Like
that a little bit.
playing the first game, I'm like, I don't necessarily needed a Hellblade 2,
Yeah.
right? This, I'm like, I feel like they kind of are going for a Hellblade 3.
The Last of Us scenario.
The Last of Us scenario, exactly. But unlike The Last of Us, like Last of Us 2 was a very long game. This is not. It's about the same length.
Yeah, the puzzles thus far have definitely been the most disappointing aspect. Maybe
You
they
think
get
so?
better from
Okay.
where I'm at. I just think, I mean, why are they there? It is just
Sure.
so simple and just kind of annoying to find these things, honestly. And it was the same thing in the first one. It's just that is the one aspect where I really wish you guys buckled down and upgraded it. It's
There is more variety the more you go.
okay, that's good
I
because
actually think the puzzles
because
as a
now just the stupid lining the shit up is just
it's not just
annoying.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, because that's
I'll
all I've
say
seen
that
this far.
there is more to it then.
Okay, that's good.
Honestly, I think that there's more variety in the puzzles in this than there was in the first game.
Okay.
And not, I don't think that they're great. I think that they're fine. I
Yeah.
agree. I kind of wish they would stick with more. Like it is just. I know that this isn't like the hugest budget game, but this is kind of a big budget like narrative game. This is like, what if Edith Finch has a bigger budget? You
Yeah.
know, that's pretty
100%.
much what this game is.
Yeah.
It has a little bit of combat, puzzles,
And
and
they
then
are a huge team. There's over 100 people working there. Like that is a AAA
I
team.
think there was only like 80 people working on this game.
I
I
just saw
think.
like 110 on something. Yeah, maybe it's that
Yeah,
game in
I
particular,
think
and they'll
maybe the
spread out a little
studios.
more.
Yeah,
Still, 80 people is a lot of fucking people.
for not for AAA though.
It isn't.
No,
I guess I don't typically know what AAA teams
mm-mm.
do.
I think it's like hundreds of people for
But for
AAA.
this type of game, like that's a lot of people.
Sure, yeah. I mean, you kind of see it too, right? Like
Yeah.
it. Technically, there's a lot of technical know-how here. Um, I guess another weird complaint is like I feel like the game is a little plotting too much, like how you feel.
Mm.
Like it's my problem with so many AAA games. Like not to like I love so many of PlayStation's AAA, but they do it all the time of like gotta go going through the narrow crack.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hurt, so I'm gonna be. I said this last week with like order, like, oh, when you're hurt, I'm gonna be hurt, and I'm gonna move real slow because you got to know I'm hurt. You know, like I understand narratively that they need to show you that you're hurt, but or that like things are intense, you got to move slow. I just it doesn't feel good to be playing a very plotting game,
Sure.
you know. But then like when you get into like some combat feels fun. It's a little plotting, but like they're at least being tense with it. You know, there's at least something you're doing instead of walking in slow directions, you know.
Yeah.
Maybe that's just a me complaint. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah, I'll probably beat it sometime this weekend.
Yeah.
Great photo mode. Love the photo mode.
Oh, I've not really messed with it.
Well, the photo mode's the shit. They went all out with that photo mode.
Did they?
Yeah.
Cool.
When you give me more random shit I can add in with the photo mode with words I don't understand, that's the more I like it. And I'll just sit there and play around for it. I've probably played more of the photo mode than I have the game, if I'm being honest.
That's awesome.
Being
I love
entirely
that.
honest. Yeah, photo mode the game. Love it.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Is that all you really played?
No, I've been playing Persona 3 Reload. I got
Oh, you started that.
I did.
Okay. I thought we were gonna do RPG first, Mario RPG.
Oh yeah.
Decide.
Sorry.
You decided to reload.
It was there. I don't know. I had a 3-day weekend, so I was like, I want to get into like something big here, and I kind of only wanted to play Hellblade when I was in the right space. So yeah, I don't know. Clicked on Persona 3 Reload, and I probably put like 15 hours into it already.
Nice.
Yeah. Great game thus far. I'm really enjoying my time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's finally hooked me. The Persona model. It's got me by the balls here. Now like wondering, oh man, can I go hang out with Junpei after school today?
So is it? Yeah. Where are you at with even 5?
I mean, last time I played 5 was like 2020. I know I did it on the
Okay.
show when like the Royal one came out, so I have no
Yeah.
idea. If I was gonna play 5 again, I'd restart it. So
Okay.
yeah, I'm
So
sure I'll
so
do
you
that
think
at some
3
point.
has hooked you to want to play 4 and 5?
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's
Four. I mean, there's rumors that they're remaking that, and I think with after the success of Persona 3 Reload, they'll do that at some point. So I'll probably just wait for that. And you know, who knows when that comes out? I'd imagine that wouldn't come out to like after Persona 6 even. So whatever, have
Yeah,
something to
maybe.
look forward to. But yeah, very much enjoying the game thus far. It's got a really cool. You know what's cool about Persona is how like linear it is for being an RPG. You know, it's like
Yeah.
you're just constantly going, and I very much like that everything you're doing just kind of adds up to something. You know, like there are no real like side quests in these games. You know,
Everything
it's just
feels important.
everything is important. Everything you're doing leads to something, gives you more stats and extra shit and whatever.
It's very good at doing that.
The
Yeah.
only thing I kind of would have liked these games to do is give me some gameplay elements in these side activities, you know? Like I'm on the track team right now. It'd be cool if there was like a little running mini game. I guess maybe I'm in the like a dragon and Final Fantasy Rebirth mindset there. But
Sure. Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. Just let me mash X when I'm fucking running on the track or whatever, you know, and that like ups your stats a little bit.
Like a Dragon's been doing. it's gonna spoil you because it's been doing stuff like that for so long.
Yeah, or like me and Junpei went to the arcade. It's like, oh, let me play one of these little arcade
Beat him in
games,
a
you
fighting
know?
game, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, like shit like that would be cool. You know, it doesn't have to just be a cutscene. You know, it's while those are great and those are cool and
Might be a budgetary thing.
they're really good at like character building and stuff like that. It's like it'd be cool if you added a gameplay element here. This is a video game, you know.
Yeah, it might be budgetary,
I'm sure it is, but I don't. You're fucking Sega, man. Put some budget into it. Jesus.
Take money away from Sonic and
Yeah,
then put
fuck
it in
Sonic.
Persona.
Why does Sonic need to run that fast? I don't think so.
Cut his speed a bit.
Yeah, it's gotta save you like what 100 mil. You'll be fine. So yeah, I'm really liking it this far. Interesting because I thought these games were all kind of the same theme, where you like went into people's minds, but that's not the case at all.
No,
that's
yeah,
that's kind of what I thought the
five,
Persona
yeah.
model was, but I guess that's just 5. So yeah, I didn't realize that. So in this one, you go into Tartarus, which is like this whole dungeon section, and that seems to be where majority of the combat takes place. And the story thus far has kind of just been figuring out what's going on with Tartarus. Why does it appear? You know, they call it like the dark hour, and it's kind of like, why does this happen? And that's kind of the main story thus far. I guess the main story hasn't really gotten going thus far. I'm at like the end of May, and the game starts in April, so yeah, it's still early goings, but I'm definitely
That's
liking.
gonna be how that game's gonna go.
Yeah, I bet.
It'll take a while.
Yeah, but I am definitely really liking the characters this far. Really liking building the connections with all of them and stuff like that. There's like some interesting stuff going on with the school and stuff like that. So yeah, curious where it goes. Definitely gonna dive more into it.
How's the shooting your head look in like the reload version? Does
It looks
look
cool. Yeah, it looks
Yeah.
cool. It looks cool. They all do it in like different ways, you know. Everyone on your team, they'll hold the gun in like
Somebody
at different
puts it in their
angles.
mouth?
Yeah. I haven't gotten there yet, but I'm sure one of them does because there's only so many ways you could do that, right? So I'm sure one of them does. You know, like your main character does it the side, and then the girl does it from the forehead.
Mine is somebody walks behind me and shoots me in the back.
Yeah. So yeah, very much enjoyed it this far.
Awesome. Yeah, I can't wait to hear more. I want to play this game. I want to play this and 4. Like as much as I love 5, it's one of my favorite games. I really want to get to 3 and 4.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd jump into 4 or 5 right after. I don't know. Maybe I would just play 4. Considering you can just buy it, right? It's like $20, so it's
Yeah,
it's on
the
there,
golden
yeah.
version.
Yeah, you know, you can get it on pretty much everything nowadays. So I wonder if I do that. I've always wanted to play that Catherine game as well from Atlas.
Yeah, it's very different.
Yeah, I
It's a
know that's
puzzle
very
game.
different. It's supposed to
Yeah.
be a lot shorter too. I think it's only like 20 something hours. So
Yeah, there is like a weird persona. Like I think you're at like the restaurant thing in the real world, but then there's
I remember playing the demo way back when, you know, like
the 360
360
demo.
era. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you know, I've always been curious on that too. So maybe I'll check
Me
that
too.
out
Like
at some
I
point.
remember trying the game, but I think I own it. I just have not like committed.
There
really.
is a I think they call it like the full body edition. There's
Mhm.
the PS4, Xbox One version. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe I do that at some point. I don't know. We got a long summer here with just not a lot coming out, so
We got to get to
play
RPG.
a bunch of random shit. We do got to get to RPG. You're very right on that, and I do want to play Paper Mario at some point as well. So
Yeah, both those. We got to get to both
we'll
of those.
figure it out.
We can do that.
Have a good
play it
old
together.
turn-based summer, ladies and gentlemen.
Got Mario
here
and his
for.
beach
What
bod.
we're
You know
here
what
for.
I mean?
Then we roll right into fucking Metaphor Refantasio, and you know, whatever.
Whoa.
Turn-based year. Let's
Hmm.
go.
You're changing.
I like it. I like it.
Now you're just a
I like it
turn-based
lot.
man.
Oh, turn-based man. That's it. I'm only playing turn-based games.
You
it.
could just only do that.
Don't make anything else. That's going to do it for the Nerd Gods Podcast, episode 225. Thank you all so much for watching. Please remember to subscribe to us over at youtube.com/Nerdic Gods, and you also find us available on all audio platforms. Danny, anything else you'd like to say?
I really want to see Mario's beach bod. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I want to see Mario's cheeks.
Oh my god.
Mario's Stellar Blade crossover.
Jesus.
Mario got a better ass, guarantee it. All right. See you next week. Bye,
Bye,
everybody.
everybody.